Welcome to my COOPERS program that assists cooperatives in performance appraisal, which tells them which level of growth or development they are at any one time. My COOPERS is a program that has been tested. It is evidence-based and objective-based. The cooperatives can apply the necessary ingredients to grow their cooperatives to the next level with my COOPERS support. Today's topic is about business as usual. And in the program, we will see how business as usual has rendered the vulnerable groups to have 12 characteristics. And these characteristics will be highlighted as we go on. Please tune in and stay tuned to listen, to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. To subscribe to support this channel is free, and we thank all those who have subscribed. Last week we made to the half of the targets that we called our audience to support us in subscribing. We thank you very much. For those who are listening, kindly subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It is all free. It is just clicking the button below here. A red button shows that you have not subscribed. Once you subscribe, the red button will turn gray. Thank you very much as you continue listening to characteristics of vulnerable groups as a result of cooperatives doing business as usual. Thank you and welcome once again. Let's now look at what we mean by business as usual. Most sectors are doing business as usual. Day in, day out. Year in, year out. Decade in, decade out. And so on and so forth. Business as usual in cooperatives and agriculture sector is where no innovations or no change of managing the sectors is done. In most cases, the members are not interested with the management of these sectors. They take in what is provided to them by the managing outfits. My COOPERS program would encourage both the management and the stakeholders not to be engaged in business as usual mode. Time to change is now, and lead members to the promised land. There are several characteristics that mark the business as usual mode in the nation and its sectors. Once we know how to identify these characteristics, the management team, the leaders, and other stakeholders should obtain modern ways of changing business as usual modes. In many cases that we have observed, cooperatives and agriculture sectors have remained in this business as usual mode that is hurting the economy of most developing countries. Let us see a few characteristics in this business as usual mode. We are going to look at 12 characteristics in this business as usual mode. Number 1, poverty. In sectors attributing a great percentage to contribute to the economy of any country, business as usual mode should be done away with completely. The cooperatives and agriculture sectors, as we have said, are the greatest contributors to the economy development. In the reverse, they are also the greatest contributors to increased poverty levels, because when they do business as usual and they get hurt, then there is increased poverty. When cooperatives and agriculture sectors are doing well, the members, the farmers, and other stakeholders who contribute so much to the economy will increase their investment, contributions, and productivity. In effect, the income will be increased and poverty levels will be minimized, if not eradicated. Number 2, unemployment has been a characteristic of business as usual mode. The cooperatives and agriculture sectors are the largest sectors that offer substantive employment in the economy. When the cooperatives and agriculture sectors fail, or some cooperatives collapse, this renders a great impact to the unemployment. Employment may be formal or self-employment. The employment also is in form of small businesses and substantive farming or agricultural farming or agribusiness. Let's move on to the third characteristic of business as usual mode. Kazi kwa Vijana. Kazi kwa Vijana has been an outfit brought up by the government trying to create employment. Whereas it is a good thing to keep Vijana or youth busy, it may not be sustainable to create future jobs, especially for the educated youth who went through an education system in various professions with a future in mind. This Kazi kwa Vijana is a clear sign the government has serious problems absorbing youth into formal employment. Let's look at number 4, alcoholism and drug abuse. Because of unemployment, the youth become vulnerable and they start abusing alcohol and drugs. When this happens, the problem becomes deep-rooted and hence lead them into depression and suicidal state. These conditions not only affect the youth but also the parents, who become unproductive in their daily businesses and employment as they continue being disturbed by the situation of their children, by the situation their children are in. Characteristic number 5. Characteristic number 5 is increased crime. We have huge percentage in our population that consists of the youth. When the youth is not well managed in terms of giving them jobs, most will be engaged in crime, and this would result into a menace that the government will need to deal with. Let's move on to number 6 characteristic: increased betting. Our youth are vulnerable when they do not have employment. Some are rooted into deep betting and are shown how it is a good business by the vendors. Betting is not a bad or good by itself as a business. However, it all depends on how it is controlled and how people who are engaging in it are disciplined. Losing money is a pain in the throat, and this can lead to suicidal thoughts. We have already seen this happening to our youth. Number 7 characteristic is increased escape to urban areas. Our universities, colleges, and schools have discharged a huge number of youths and continue discharging this huge number into the labor market, which we have already seen has no enough job opportunities. Because most industries and companies are in the urban areas, there is a huge immigration from rural areas to urban areas. The existing industries and companies in the urban areas are usually not able to absorb all these youth. Let's move on to number 8 characteristic: increased hustling. Increased hustling. Because of lack of employment for this youth, hustling has become the only option to make ends meet or to survive, especially in urban areas. In this outfit, small businesses and all manner of survival tactics erupt in the nation. If you have looked at urban areas of late, population activities, hawking, and other small businesses have become the norm. Let's get to number 9 characteristic: get rich quick. This is a notion where there is too much hustling that has led the youth to become vulnerable to get rich quick scams. They are putting their hard-earned cash into these scams and end up becoming conned. This has led to several youths losing their lives through suicidal actions that we have seen. Characteristic number 10 is moral decay. With a rural population, you expect to have moral decay where people do not care about virtues anymore. People have no hope, and therefore they engage in crimes and unacceptable behaviors. They have no mercy to one another. They have no love, no humility, no servanthood, and many more. In this situation, corruption has become a normal thing to do. Characteristic number 11. Underpayment of wages. Because the labor market is saturated, the employers underpay the workers. Once the workers are underpaid, they are not able to make ends meet. They become vulnerable, undependable, can steal from employer, and many more undoings. The last characteristic, number 12, radicalization. Because we have many youth that are unemployed, radicalization becomes easy as the youth are promised jobs and money, and before they realize, they are already radicalized into dangerous engagement. Now, business as usual, if it continues, it means the nation will hurt and will be in great problems. Why does the nation get itself into these characteristics of business as usual modes? It is because the sectors that should be employing these populations are still doing business as usual. Because of the large population, cooperatives and agriculture sectors that mainly offer employment should change the business as usual mode into innovations and other ways of doing business. The cooperatives when they are hurting. My Corpus has come up with remedy to the performance rating, and will see the sectors perform even better. Please tune in on our channel to keep learning about My Corpus, which is a new era of cooperative development performance model. Thank you.